All right. As we heard, the meeting is being recorded. All right. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to our second session of Madridistas Talk. It is Sunday, February 1st in Atlanta. And for the second weekend in a row, we had to stay indoors for a few hours. Be that as it may, we enjoyed our times in our homes. Not sure if we can say the same thing about the games. So we'll be taking some time to talk through the two most recent games. The Benficazo that we had on Wednesday, on a dramatic game as it couldn't be in any other way, right? And then in the most recent game this morning, which was too early for us to wake up and go to the Peña, but we all watched just the same. So today we have Malini and James, JJ, joining us. So I want to welcome y'all, and I'll just get us started by saying it's been a dramatic 2 weeks since we had our last call. We had a lot to discuss back then on Arbeloa, new coach, then a lot of uncertainty around, hey, if we're going to be out of the Copa del Rey, was that a one-off performance, or is that going to carry on to some of the La Liga matches? And then, of course, I re-encountered with Jose Mourinho at Benfica in the away game. An afternoon that at 2:59 p.m., we were number 2 or 3 in the classification table. And 98, I guess, minutes later, we're number 9, having to play 2 extra games against the team that beat us, who just happened to barely, by 1 goal differential, thanks to that header the keeper got us in. So a lot has transcribed. So yeah, we'll take it from there. Any thoughts from y'all?
I guess I'll start. I just think it's all a disaster. I think for the past season and a half now, firing Ancelotti and then firing Xabi,
Yeah,
pretty out of the blue, in my opinion. I didn't expect it to be that soon. We're not actually solving the root cause of the problem, which, in my opinion, it's the players. I think they look very unmotivated. They're not really willing to play in a system like the players that Xabi had at his disposal at Bayer Leverkusen. They weren't willing to put their heads down and get their job done.
yeah,
And as a result, now we're on our third manager over the past, like 8, 9 months, and we're still playing just the same, if not worse, because there's less continuity. And I think it was a penalty, but we got like somewhat bailed out for our La Liga match this match day because we got lucky. There was so much added time to even allow that to happen. So
yeah.
I don't know. We're still in it. As far as La Liga goes, I think the UCL is a massive stretch for these players. I think that's beyond our ceiling. And then obviously we're not winning the Copa del Rey. So really, the way I see it, we're in the hunt for just one trophy this season, which is below our usual standards.
Yeah, and definitely our expectations.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I would have to echo that sentiment that I don't feel a lot of trust towards these players. I don't think we've seen enough consistency all season. It's been this cycle of like winning a game and we're all like, "Oh yeah, we're back. We figured it out." And then the next game it's back to the same mess and not seeing a good attitude on the pitch. Um and that consistency with the coach is part of it, and whatever happened behind the scenes to where Xavi was not able to do his job, um, because
yeah,
maybe a tactical coach doesn't work with the egos in the locker room. Well, now they got a coach in Arbeloa who comes to every press meeting like these players are untouchable. These players
right,
are, the best, and if there's a loss, then it's my fault. And like the fans should get behind the players. Like he's going to every press conference 100% backing these players and letting them play as they want. So when they get a coach in this style, we're still seeing bad results. And
that's
like
right.
you said, with Xavi, we were set up to qualify directly for a round of 16. And now that we've sacked him and we're out of the round of into the playoffs, it's another sign that it was unnecessary.
Yeah, indeed.
Hi,
Indeed.
guys.
Hello.
Hi, Caro. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Sorry, I'm so late.
No, we just got it started like 4 minutes ago. We were just doing opening thoughts, and want to hear yours too. So, Molly, anything to finish your thought or continue it before we go to Caro?
No, we can move on.
Yeah, Caro. Any initial impressions from the game this morning or from the game on Wednesday? The dramatic.
The game on Wednesday. Okay. I don't know. Like, I feel like the team, like, the players are, sorry for the background noise.
Okay,
Coco's giving her thoughts on it.
I saw her.
I feel like it's like when they wake up in a mood, like they're so moody, like when they decide to play or not to play. So I know we're playing against Rayo Vallecano, and it seems at times they were difficult on it, but I felt
Yeah.
like it's such a long game, like it was forever, and I feel like there was a spell cast on the team. I mean, like they try, like the ball didn't want to get in.
Yeah. Indeed. So we're hearing a bunch of uh, maybe what we can draw upon is that we're not optimistic, right? We're not particularly optimistic at the moment. A lot of uncertainty that we might be facing, right? Especially the environment wasn't great to begin with, given that this season we have change manager, and given that that change of manager was surrounded by a lot of uncertainty between his supposed ability to control the dressing room and then as well to be able to devise a game plan that will give the players and the fans confidence in what we have. Like JJ was saying, we're Real Madrid, so we want to go for every single tournament every year, but of course that confidence and optimism just wasn't there. And it sounds like what we're saying now is that with the new coach now, that's not feeling a whole lot better after what, 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks. So, Ivan, welcome. And any opening thoughts from the couple most recent games and the general vibes around the club?
Well, I'll just take the win today. Though the subs today were just, yeah, I just didn't know what he was doing, bro. So I posted the screenshot this morning. I was like, you subbed in Gonzalo, you put him at the right wing. You subbed in Brahim and Rodrigo, you put them at center midfield. So you're putting two wingers in the midfield.
Yeah.
Ceballos had a good game. I'll give him that. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, at this point, even though he's not too well liked, but he's like the only one that actually can do what we need at the moment. So, especially with Bellingham injured. So for me, it should be him, Goller, and then Camavinga for now, until the injuries get better. And then defense, yeah, no words.
Yeah, no words.
I read a statistic about the defense that in the top 5 leagues, the only team who has conceded more goals up until this point in the season is Eintracht Frankfurt, and it's one of their worst seasons in recent memory. So every other team has conceded less goals than Real Madrid. I don't know if that's true or not, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And I want to echo on something that Ivan said. When Jude got injured, the Brahim substitution was such a head scratcher for me. Like, I do not see Brahim as the substitution for Jude. For me, it should have been Ceballos, and y'all know how I feel about Ceballos, but he has been pretty solid for us, and he's the one who makes sense when Jude comes off. I don't understand a lot of Arbeloa's decisions. I know we said this about Xavi too with his substitutions, but Arbeloa's he's so consistently wrong with some of these decisions. Like when he took Guler off in the last game, and we all saw how he got angry about it and all that. Well, that's a conversation as well. But that taking Guler off didn't make sense to me because he's the one who makes those forward passes and is very creative and
Yeah.
supports the attack. And then again today he took Guler off.
Yeah.
Can
And
I
in fact,
Sorry,
go ahead. Caro.
Sorry. No, I was going to say something. Today, Guler did not impress me. Like he wasn't being on point. Like he usually is, I guess. And I guess what has saved us so far that we're not that low on the Liga is the consistency with Courtois and Mbappe. You know, they're being consistent. That's literally our 11 man. So we're running a 9-man consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
true.
Adam.
Agree with that.
And I didn't watch the game live. May or may not have been because I didn't wake up on time. But what I did saw in the highlights as I was watching it the first time I was watching the highlights is, yes, Ceballos was there. He was fighting. He was at different spots in that last third of the field. He was making passes. But even then, he came in when? In the second half?
Yeah.
Second half.
Yeah. And so to Melanie's point, right? So we could have had him if he was going to take on that role as distributing the ball, connecting more, doing more passes, or at least stopping the transitions that they would have, would have made a lot more sense to put him in before. But is that Arbeloa's thinking of a different configuration, or is that a preference for Brahim? What do you guys think?
I just get the impression he doesn't really know what he's doing. Like sometimes you get managers who make questionable decisions,
Okay.
but kind of like Ivan was saying before, it's just like so blatant to the point where like it doesn't really compute, right? So and I also want to add to that for Ancelotti towards the end of his tenure and now Xabi and then Arbeloa, right? Like
Yeah.
they've been handed a squad that like they have an excess of players in positions that you don't need an excess for because we haven't been doing the regular maintenance to get those less attractive superstar positions, right?
Yeah.
So somebody who could be better than Ceballos or maybe some fullbacks would be very helpful. But now we're stuck with 98,000 wingers, and you got to use them, I suppose, at some point when just one or two of your core midfielders get injured, and that kind of exacerbated the problem for me too. Just overall,
especially the more experienced and the more skilled midfielders.
Yeah.
What do y'all feel about Bellingham getting hurt? But actually, question on that. In the press conference, somebody was asking Arbeloa whether he saw Bellingham already limping during warm-ups. Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. There was video of him holding the back of his thigh before the game.
No way.
Man. So, well, this isn't good, y'all.
Yeah.
It sounded like that. Y'all remember that Benzema's injury?
Right.
Maybe 2 year, the year 2024, I think, when we lost him right before a Clásico, when he was going to be 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
Those 3 weeks include the 2 Benfica games, and then very important matches where we were what, 90 seconds away from dropping 2 points from Barcelona, right?
Yeah. We'll probably see him again in March.
Oh,
I think he's out for the rest of the month.
So pretty similar to Pedri, right? Pedri's out. Did I make that up?
Okay.
Even Vinicius. They said he's out for a month, but hamstring, whenever I hear that, I'm like, usually take it like it's 2 or 3. Because Vinicius, when he had his hamstring, he came back, and then he got a relapse, and then he was out again until it stabilized around like 2024.
That's always the risk when they come back from those. But I do think that's a good segue into the issue of the physicality of these players. And we were talking about our defense. Jog my memory if I'm not remembering correctly. The way we sub out center backs in every game, have we been doing that before with like Ramos, Pepe, Varane? Like, I
No.
don't remember us doing that at all in the
No.
past. And
Nah,
these
because
defenders
back
can't last a full game anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just worried that with the World Cup coming up in the middle of June, that players are going to be even more cautious when it comes to that kind of stuff and not wanting to get hurt to miss out on the chance to represent their countries, you know? So I don't want to see us
Good
sub them
point.
out even sooner or, you know, with this Jude injury, have him turn around and say, "Oh, I need even more time than usual to get back into it."
That's gonna be even worse if that would include Chouameni and Camavinga, them being important for the French national team. If they start playing cautious, that will not be good. But yeah, Malin, I remember in fact, I remember even 20 years ago when you had Fernando Hierro and Manolo Sanchez in the defense. Unless one of them was injured, like they were our defense. And then Sergio Ramos and Pepe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They were there. Unless one of them got a red card, Ramos got
Right.
8
Even
red cards every year.
even with Marcelo, you always counted that they're always going to be the 90 minutes. Pepe, Marcelo, and Ramos, always
Yeah.
there, 90 minutes.
And who
Yeah.
started today? Who started today?
Sancho and Housen.
And
Yeah.
And then both of them got subbed out.
yep. Crazy.
How do
This
we
is every game.
Yeah. What about Houghton? How do we feel about him?
I'll give him time because he's young, but it's just. I'm just like, how are you 6'3" or 6'4", and you're losing the physical battle against people you should be like towering against, bro?
His
Yeah.
aerial game is so bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then his passing, which was his like main strength lately, has just been like sometimes brain dead.
So, are we ready to say that this also isn't an issue of talent then? Is there something psychological getting to the players?
I think it's both. I think it's
It's both.
both like a failed project since our last Champions League because we've not focused on some key areas. I think we also maybe have made some signing mistakes here and there, or just we've been limited by what was available at the time in the transfer market. But I do think the majority is just we have a good enough squad on paper. These players are just not giving it their all. Like when I watch games, like I watched yesterday, I'm not saying they're a better squad than us, but like Chelsea, they were down 2-0. They come back to win 3-2. And they looked amazing the whole time they were doing it. It wasn't luck. It wasn't the referees, nothing like that. And when I watched that, I shouldn't be thinking that about Chelsea as a Madrid fan. Like we're supposed to be the ones with that mentality.
That's right.
But
That's
I
right.
haven't watched us play a game like that with the just dominance in the second half and the can-do attitude and doing it by yourself, not looking at the ref, not looking at the manager for the past 2 seasons. And it's really disappointing because these Chelsea guys too, I guess part of it is they're young, they're unproven, but it's just horrible.
But I
The
don't
last
think.
time,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying the last time was probably like the Dortmund game where we won like 5-2. That was like the last time where we had like, oh, we can come back. Okay, ever since then, and you watch like the game, you're just like, I'll just take a goal at this point, but you're not even certain like, oh, we'll score.
Right.
God, half the time it's a pen.
Especially since this is Rayo Vallecano, and no hate.
Right.
I love all teams, but Rayo Vallecano was number 17th in the table. We're playing in our stadium.
Exactly.
When you win at the Madrid style, which is at the very last moment, there's a world of difference between a Champions League game that you win like that at the very last moment, and then today against the 17th or 18th ranked team in our own stadium, a game that we have to win. We have to win. We cannot drop any more points against Barcelona as we head into February and March. And we needed 9 minutes to after the end of the game. And not least, I'm forgetting about the fact that, in fact, they had their red card maybe 10 minutes before end of regulation. So we had an extra player all that time.
Yeah, I think it was like early 80s, like 83rd minute or something.
It's very uncertain, y'all.
Right. That's what I said at the beginning. Very moody. We don't know what we're gonna get with these players. Like one game they decide to play, the other game it does not. It took forever, but at the same time, I feel like the ball didn't want to get in because I saw them every single time kicking it and the ball just hit the post.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioning that Benfica game where it was high stakes and we lost that and we came here and it was 17th place, Rayo Vallecano. Our captain Fede Valverde after the game, when we were doing the interview, he said this win was revenge for that last game. And I'm listening to this like, are you not embarrassed to say that? Like, how are you comparing these two? Revenge would be if in a couple of weeks we go to Benfica and we beat them like 5-0.
Yeah,
Then
that's
we
right.
can say this is revenge. To barely win with 9 minutes given to us for whatever reason, with a penalty given at the very end, 2 players down, that's revenge. Like the attitude of this squad is so far gone from what we expect from a Real Madrid squad, from the demands that we were always putting on the squad, the expectations that we have. It's
Indeed.
so far gone from it. And I think when you ask the question, like, what do you think the problem is? I think it's the attitude. Like, I don't know if a coach can work with these group of players. And, JJ was mentioning that Xavi, when he had that group at Leverkusen, it was a group of players that were willing to follow what he had and what he was putting out for them. And yeah, in Leverkusen, they were winning a lot of games last minute, but it's Leverkusen, right? Like they were pulling through and they were exciting to watch. Like it's just not exciting to watch our game. I think there's and then Dean, right? Like you have these young players. He came in with so much talent, so exciting to watch in the first few games. I think, like someone else mentioned, he does need more experience and time. I think he also needs an experienced center back with him. I think when Militao was next to him, we were seeing a better version of him because you have like that physicality and experience with Militao. I think with the loss of him, maybe that's why we're not seeing like a good Dean. But at the same time, I think like a coach needs to look at Dean and say what Ivan said, like you're tall, your aerial game should be stronger. Come and practice this in training to make him more well-rounded and up to what his strength should be.
Yeah, to take the initiative and try to get their players to bring their best out.
Right.
I'm almost wondering too, like, are our players respecting our opponents enough by saying stuff like that was revenge, right? One, you're putting Benfica at Rayo Vallecano's level, and we're talking about a club with so much pedigree and so much history. But then two, you look at other teams who have been winning their domestic leagues pretty easily, like PSG, like Man City, right? They're respecting the table from 20th all the way up to second behind them the whole season, whenever they go on to win the league. They're not looking at a game against Wolverhampton and saying, oh, it's just Wolverhampton. Let's rest our players for Liverpool next week. They're treating it as a consistent, every single match is 3 points, right?
Like we must win it. We must win. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I don't like him because he's a Barca guy, but Pep, he expects that out of his players. You look at so many managers, they expect that out of their players if they want to win their league. And I just don't feel like we've had that sentiment for a long time.
And maybe comments like that are a sign of that, right? You're right, Melanie, like revenge. And then it's a serious misreading of the situation, right? And I don't know how he doesn't know that the Madridismo is going to be, it's going to be annoyed at that type of disposition. Now, what about you guys? What do you think about the booing at the stadium? In fact, I didn't watch the first half. When did it start? How did it play out?
When they came out to train, it started from then. To warm up, I mean.
Before the game, they were booing them.
All consistent. Even the time they came in, all the way to the end.
So they only paused to celebrate the goals, I guess.
Well, I'll also say this, like, I think it was Mastantuono lost the ball terribly and it started a Rayo counter, and the fans were whistling him because he lost the ball. And he ran back and he won the ball back, and the fans started cheering. And so, like, I think the message is clear. Like, we want to see you guys hustling out there and working and showing the attitude on the pitch that's expected. And so I think that there were a couple other players who they did that to as well, where when they saw them putting in the effort and showing that they actually cared, they were cheering and applauding them.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I
and
did hear a constant booing, though.
yeah, and to keep bringing the past back, in 2005, I remember we had won the Champions League in 2002 against
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen. Yeah, against Bayern Leverkusen. And 2003 we won La Liga with Brazilian Ronaldo, and then 2004, 2005, 2006. There were 3 years where most games were like this. I remember Makelele left, and we never recovered the team until Florentino finally said, "Okay, I'm leaving." I haven't gotten the right mentality out of the players, so time to go. So, what are your thoughts about the rest of the season then? Because there's a world of difference between 2022, when we were a bit fragile, but then we knew something deep down. We all knew, yeah, we can turn these games around. What about today?
I don't know if it's sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, we just need to start, first of all, playing to our strength, like we talked about last time, which today we're still not doing. Like I mentioned earlier, like even the Benfica game, when he took out Grola, I'm like, okay, if we're about to cross, we need somebody to cross in the box. Where is Gonzalo? Nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
You see Vinicius and Mbappe, the same position. You're losing the ball. I'm like, pick one, sub them out. I don't care who between them, just pick one and sub them out. You don't want to sub them out. We're just over there losing possession, having zero ideas. And back to that point again, like I was talking about, we're not even sure what's going. You remember the Super Cup Classico last season?
Yeah.
The final. We were up a man most of the second half, but that was probably one of the worst. Like, we probably wouldn't have scored even if we played 30 more minutes. Mm-hmm. That's how bad it was.
We lost 5-1, 5-2?
5-2.
Yeah, I was in El Salvador watching it with my friends. Yeah, we were not. Go ahead, Caro. Go ahead.
Okay, so a couple of days ago, Malini and I were talking about, Gen Zs and generational things, attitude. Right. And I don't know if it's showing now generationally why we're not winning, because the dates that you're mentioning, 2005, that goes to Gen Z's generation, the older Gen Z's when they were playing. And even up to all this way, we're talking about people that were born in the mid to late 80s. Now these people that are playing, they're like born late 90s and 2000s. So I don't know if it's showing their age and, that they, seems like, what is it that you said, Malini, to me that time, that is like, they, things, like, what was it that you said, Malini? Do you remember what I'm talking about? I was saying
that I feel like self-advocating and setting boundaries gets taken to an extreme level.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. Like I was telling her, like when I think about like my parents' generation, which was very much a keep your head down and grind hard generation.
Yeah, indeed.
Where we are at now. And like when I look at Vinny, Jude, and all these players, and you hear what's coming out of their entourage and what's coming out in the media, where they're not even understanding why the fans are upset. They're making it about themselves, saying, you're not making us feel at home. We don't feel supported. You're only there when we win, but you're not there when we lose to support us. Like not understanding that people are expecting more, like this inconsistency that we're seeing, the lack of attitude, the manager not being able to do his job with you. Like there's so many things that people are frustrated with that you have to acknowledge and accept and improve and work hard. And it's like these guys are the leaders in the locker room, like Vinny, Jude, fit
They
in.
are.
They're the leaders in there. They're the ones who the other players look up to. And so when it's rotten from that side, then it's just messing up the entire locker room.
How do y'all feel at this point this year versus at this point last year?
I do have a last comment about what we're talking about.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, and I don't know if you all saw it, but Dani Carvajal, he's one of the older players. He's supposed to be the leader. He is not a leader like the other ones who left, even though he's an older.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you can see his frustration when they were every time they show it on the camera. Like when they were showing, the people sitting. You can clearly see his frustration and anxiety about these players not putting, like when you saw them when they, like yes, and I'm giving them a little bit of slack on this one because I did saw a lot of throws to the net, and it's just the post keep hitting it. So I mean, they were trying, but I don't know. It's an attitude thing. And
to add one more thing to that, I do think the one player who has, from what I've seen this season, who's been like the best leader and very honest is Courtois.
Okay.
When we lose games and he comes and he says, and he calls them out, and he's like, you can't just be, like he'll come to the press after the match and be like, you have to play as a team. You're not playing as a team. Like he'll be very honest. Like that's the kind of captain I want.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, as far as the generational thing goes, like, I have a little pushback on that because we're forgetting who are the reigning European champions right now. That's PSG. They had one of the youngest squads ever. And I think we need to question what made Luis Enrique's PSG so successful when you have guys like Bradley Barcola, Desiree Doué leading, not just being led by the players who've been there for a lot longer, but leading. Why are these young players, why do they have so much more of a chip on their shoulder than players in clubs like Real Madrid, right? And why do they have so much more of an ability to self-reflect and feel really accountable? I think like another one is Zaire Emery. Like the way they come across in interviews, whether it was a good match or a bad match, they speak eloquently, they take responsibility for their actions, and they seem hungry. And maybe we need to figure out why our players aren't like that. So
yeah, instead of blaming them on the age, like I am.
Yeah.
Ancelotti spoiled them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you about that. Like, were we feeling better about this last year or exactly a year ago?
It was the same, but
yeah,
I think we had like a lead in La Liga actually by this point, and then
this was the exact time it started falling apart. And I remember so much blame was being put on the referees. And to be fair, there were questionable decisions in a lot of games, but we were not helping ourselves in those games. And I wanted to see the coach and the players make it about themselves and talk about how they can improve. But after every single game, it was always about the referee. Real Madrid TV making compilations of the referee's mistakes. All the players, Carlo Ancelotti talking about the ref. Like it was so frustrating. And that's why I say, like, I think it started with Ancelotti's era where they were not self-critical and kept making it about outside factors and like the referees' decisions. And since then, like, I think that attitude has carried on till now.
Yeah, I always question when players, especially players and managers, put too much of the responsibility onto the referee because I think it's just the easiest cop out of all time. I think why Arsenal today looks like they're going to win the league this time is because they stopped doing that, right? They got a lot of that out of their system. They stopped blaming it on themselves, on the referee, and they started looking introspectively at themselves. And until our players can do the same thing, we're not going to be back to our winning ways because if you're already going to be screwed over, then why try against the system, right? Like it's a loser victim mentality.
that goes for Vinicius, Mbappe, yeah. Because some of the times they do get frustrated. Like Vinicius, part of it was like he doesn't get the fouls, but sometimes I'm just like, bro, why the fuck are you gonna complain every single time there's contact or wave your arm out, like, bro, just play on. Mbappe too, slight contact. He's over there waving his arm on, but bro, just play.
Yeah,
That's
just
all we
play.
have VAR for. If the ref calls it, he's gonna call it.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's
fact-
my complaint with Vinicius. Like he's half of the time complaining or arguing with the crowd.
How did he do today? Or did he react to the booing or the whistling?
I didn't
Yeah,
see.
he scored a good goal, and then
Yeah.
at times he was still a bit erratic, but for the most part, he played well.
I
Oh yeah,
thought
'cause I saw the goal. The goal was amazing, but I was wondering how much it was affecting him. How was the whole the environment was affecting him?
I thought he could have been sent off for the dives. There
Oh,
were a couple dives where he could have been carded for it, but he wasn't. And was doing a similar thing, complaining to the referee. There were a lot of moments where our players thought we should have been given penalties
Yeah.
during the game. I thought the ref did a pretty good job of judging those moments. Maybe there's one where he could have given a penalty, but I didn't think it was too much of an issue. But I didn't see him reacting too much this time or the last time with the booth.
so maybe
He
there's
was
some
bad
level of,
towards the end because it
say
was
that-
just like they were dying for the penalty. Camavinga was in it, Brahim was in it until he finally got kicked.
Right.
Mbappe too, one of them, he looked like, you know how a salmon jumps out of water. I'm just like, bro.
yeah.
I mean, it just like shows how far the mentality has fallen in just 2 years because, not, I guess probably a year and 11 months ago, right? We were relying on great, brilliant, well-earned moments from Rodrigo, for instance, to push us past Man City, or, you'd have moments of brilliance with the BBC up front,
Yeah.
last goal, squeezing everything that they could out of their bodies and out of their mentality. And now it's just the only way these players feel like they can win against a relegation battle level team, forget a Man City, is by drawing a penalty.
In our own stadium.
It's horrible, and doing it for how many minutes of the game in just such a shameless manner. It's just
Yeah.
a horrible mentality. Just
Yeah.
really rot. You can't expect to get ahead in life just trying to take advantage of the system. It'll catch up. It'll dry up eventually.
And we don't have a Jose Lu on the bench that can come in
Yeah.
and rescue a game, a campaign even.
Mm.
We don't have a surprise factor. We don't have so the options, right? When the games get tricky, one of the signs of a good manager is to know how to take a risk that completely changes your tactics in that moment, but that helps you with something you've identified that you can change during the game and then execute it, right? It's hard to imagine now, right? We're in a complicated game like today where we're 1-1 and Mbappe hit the crossbar, right? In the second half at one point. And it was on a great play by us, of course, exploited their weaknesses. But I would have thought that against a team on relegation battle, or in a relegation battle, we should be able to do more of that. We should be able to surprise them with counterattacks or a substitution that can enable this type of play more. But that doesn't seem to be the case, or that didn't seem to be the case at all today. The second year mark of when things are going well is when things get complicated. You have an underlying confidence that you're going to keep trying and do something different. And that doesn't seem to be where we are mentally.
Yeah, like I said, it's been 2 years, and then we just for the past 2 seasons look like we have zero preparations or zero ideas of what we're doing.
Just ability
like
to
James,
during the
how
game.
James was saying earlier about the PSG. I'm looking at it. It's just like everybody wants to do their own thing when they're on the field. Like I look at how Mbappe plays in Vinicius. When Mbappe plays, it's like he'll pass you the ball. When he makes the run, it's not going to be, let me make the run and draw space for this one and create the space for my teammate. No, it's going to be, I'm going to
Yeah.
make the run, pass me the ball back, I'm going to score. There was a play today towards the end after we were 2-1 up. We passed the ball. There's two defenders in front of him. Gonzalo's open right there on the wing.
Yeah. And it was
If
a
that was a
side pass.
PSG player of Barcelona, they will have passed the ball to the wing and then expect the ball back. But you can already guess what he did with the ball when he's in the box.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the counterattacks are just very poor. And it's so frustrating given the players we have and how dangerous we should be
Yeah.
on counterattacks.
Yeah.
When they just make the wrong decision, or say towards the end of the game, there was a counterattack and they slowed it down by making a side pass. I forgot who it was, but it was just so baffling. Like it's going towards the end of the game, and I think we were 2-1 up, and I don't know if they're trying to be cautious or something, but like we have the space, go and attack it. Like why are you slowing it down? I don't understand. Like Ivan said, everybody's playing their own game. Nobody's understanding each other. So that's when you see these sloppy passes where like a player expects another player to run into space, so he passes it there, but he doesn't, or he passes it behind him.
You know, part of that at least comes down to coaching, but if the coaching doesn't resolve that, then the players lose confidence because maybe at some level they know, like you're saying, Malini, like, hey, we have to connect better on these passes. We have to connect better on these transitions or the 1-2 pass or coordinate ourselves. While you go and pressure there right forward, then I'm going to pull back with you, or I'm going to go and cover like the center track of the field. But if the coaching doesn't get through to them to execute on these ideas, and then they themselves fail to execute, that hurts their confidence because they know that they're messing up passes. They know they're messing up alternative plays. They know that in crosses, they can't win the headers, right? You know, that's clear. So their goal today, Tchouaméni sort of just gives up. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just hot and cold. He's just like, we're talking about it, like on the ball. He's probably more gifted than Casemiro was, like on the ball. But Casemiro, at least you know, he'll always defend, do everything to win the ball back. Tchouaméni is just like, he's just somebody who just woke up in the morning after a party.
Yeah.
You see him play well, or you just see him just completely disappear.
Yeah, especially because they cross the ball and it was like a cross that their player goes out, has to go further, have to get the ball, and then still has the time to turn around to cross it. And Tchouaméni, he's running in that direction, but you're supposed to get in front of their attacker. You're supposed to head it out. Don't let him have all that space so easily. And then, of course, they score. And I think I remember Tchouaméni looking at Arda Güler, looking at Hudson, just looking at each other and just being like, And then the cameras, they focus on their faces as they're walking back up, to the middle of the field. And yeah, you can see this like disorientation, this apathy maybe in some of them, or like really lack of, or just being walking back just very discouraged. So a lot of very concerning.
Just the decision making, because like I was watching the goals conceded, like even the Benfica game. I watched essentially, I'm like, okay, the field might have been slippery. If you're the last defender, why are you sliding, first of all, on the wing?
Exactly.
I'm like, the one thing you must not do, because even if he did slide, like you could risk a red card. Just draw the defender, hold up the ball, and you have two people coming in.
Indeed.
Why does that? I have no idea. Just the decision making. Today, too, Valverde, like that goal was on him, too. Like when they crossed that ball in, he could have been more aggressive, which he usually is. And then Tchouaméni too, when the ball came back, he was like 2 seconds late.
Indeed.
It's just how willing they are to just put the effort in. They're just inconsistent on offense and defense.
Like so spoiled for so long, where they've been able to run the show, and it's just at the point now where I'm thinking, who comes into this team and institutes a system and they actually go through with it, even if that means sacrificing some of your own glory, right? I think of a bunch of other clubs around Europe, and if I'm a manager and I'm tactical and I want my system implemented and I want an elite club to do that at, I don't think Real Madrid would be my current choice given our players. They just, I truly think that the players, sure, maybe you could say some of it is coaching, some of it's the board, maybe some of it even is the fans, but the players are the ones who own this problem and have for the past couple seasons now. So.
And you just have to hold yourself accountable too. Cause like me, I'm just comparing to pick up. Like I know I'm not at your level, but it's like when I play on a team, when I build on a team, I'm like, I know I'm gonna do this better than this teammate, and this teammate is gonna do this better than me. I'm not gonna go beyond my or limitations or try to do things. That's all they need to do on the field. But
Indeed.
if you just want to do everything, but you're not even making a difference, then what's the point? Like how I think what Xavi or Xavier made a comment in the chat today about Mbappe passing, and he's right. You want to play on the left wing, you want to play in the middle, you want to play on the right, you want to drop in the midfield, and you're losing the ball. Indeed. And then you're not winning it back. I'm like, come on, bro. Leave it to other people who do it.
Yeah. And then that would argue that comes down to coaching too. But it comes to coaching in two ways. A, being able to visualize it and articulate, hey, this is what you need to do, Kylian, right? This needs to be your approach. But two, persuading the players too to actually do it, to want to do it.
Yeah.
That too.
And doesn't seem to be happening.
And then
I think that's like a board top-down issue too. Like it seems like Perez's idea of a model coach is to coddle the players and, oh, if we keep them happy, then they'll want to stay and they'll want this and they want that. But if they're not winning, they're not going to want to stay. If they're not winning, the fans aren't going to be happy and the players are going to lose confidence with each passing year that they miss the mark. So
that's right. That's right.
And I think it goes the other way too, where Perez wants a coach who doesn't question his decisions either. When he's saying we have the players we need, we don't need to sign anybody. And coaches have talked, when Zidane left the second time, he said, I wasn't getting support from this board. Ancelotti probably because Ancelotti doesn't like to work with youngsters. He probably asked for some more experienced players. Didn't get that either. So I'm ready for Florentino to move on.
Hey, on that, let me pull up when the elections are, because it is a relevant point.
Wow.
Let's see. So it looks like he just extended until 2029.
Oh, wow.
So unless, I guess they can call elections early in some like extraordinary circumstance, but his term is until 2029.
Damn.
So
I would think if this doesn't get turned around by next season, maybe the season after, if there's no Champions League between the end of this season and 2029, then this might be his last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also, I mean, he's just old too, right? Like,
yeah.
Unless you're Cameroon president.
Like,
what is it, Ivan?
Unless you're Cameroon's president, but that's
that's a different story. But yes.
Yeah, I mean, he is 78. By then, he'll be what?
80 something?
Because he's turning 79 in March.
Oh, wow.
So he'll be
82.
82, yeah. At that point, maybe, I don't know. Any tennis fans? A little Rafa Nadal. I know he's always been around there, right?
We could get Rafa.
Yeah, his successor just won the Australian Open, so that was pretty cool.
Hey, do y'all have any thoughts, either for or against, or strong thoughts or feelings around what the club is now? We're a massive marketing operation. We rent the stadium out to Taylor Swift, and they're going to rent it out to tennis tournaments and basketball tournaments. They had an NFL game earlier this year. We make a lot of money from sales and the museums and all of that. Do you think that affects the spirit of the club in any way? Or should we do even more of that? Make more money and buy more players, if that's part of the issue.
I mean, we're not doing the last part, so
Well, yeah, I guess we haven't brought anybody.
I think it's the lesser of the evils, right? Because we're trying to compete with the likes of PSG and Man City, who are owned by
Indeed.
wealthy oil nations, basically. So it's either you do
Yeah.
that or you gotta find your own way. As long as we're not quite as shameless as Barcelona, selling like wedding dates and stuff in like their
No, they're
concourse.
floated right now. It's a river over there. It's like a lagoon, the stadium. It's like floated.
Their Timu
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see the video.
Yeah, as long as we do it in the right way.
Yeah, we don't want any of that.
I mean,
No floods, no
I think
wedding.
if two things could happen if we keep going this way, purchase is gonna go down because I mean, if we're not proud of the players and going to wear their jerseys or be proud of that, that merch, we're at the end of the day, we're the ones who are, paying for all of that stuff, us as a consumer. So, I mean, some of us is like, it's not even worth watching the game. I can tell you, like the Benfica game, I know I'm mispronouncing. I was at work and sometimes I'm excited about watching. I was not even excited to watch that game. Like I turned it off. I was like, no, whatever. And then we were losing that way. I was like, I'm glad I didn't even watch because, I needed to work. but like it will, if we continue this way, I mean, people eventually is gonna, get tired of it, and and it's gonna be lack of motivation, and then sales are gonna go down, and that's when probably Florentino's job is going to be down if sales goes down on
Yeah,
stuff.
I know a lot about the just world of football shirts in general, and most of the money that the club gets is from their contract that they signed with Adidas, as opposed to like
Okay.
specific money garnered from sales. So I'd be interested to see when that contract is up. Not that I think they'd terminate, but if they're not getting quite as much money, that's going to be less of a source of income from us.
Indeed.
Let's see.
And I also think that on the conversation of,
2028, that's soon. Sorry.
Generating all that money from the stadium and the events and all, and using that money to buy players, I think there needs to be more planning when you're buying these players, because we just talked about how we have Mbappe, Vinny, and when Rodrigo plays, Rodrigo, 3 players who want to play on the left. And so we don't have these guys rushing into the box to be the person we need in there when we need them to. We have Tchouaméni, who we signed as a midfielder who's playing center back. Fede, who we signed as a midfielder playing right back. Camavinga, who we signed as a mid player playing left back. Like and this has been going on for years. Like we're being so stingy in signing dependable players who play in the position that we signed them for, because we have the players who can cover those positions.
Indeed.
And I think that we go for the players who may generate shirt sales and ticket sales and stuff, but there needs to be more planning into how to build a robust squad.
Mm-hmm.
So planning is critical, and then having the discernment or judgment, I guess, into like what player is gonna be, like exactly what type of player. Sometimes it's easier. Y'all remember when Sergio Ramos came? There was no doubt that, hey, the new kid from Sevilla, he's destined to be a world-class defender. He's gonna lead our national team. He's a clear buy. But now, when there's no such clear bot, apart from Mbappe, right? It's trickier to do now, especially as we know for sure that perhaps the squad needs some type of relief, right? So like Alaba. Who else do we think? Alaba, Rudiger, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Some people say Rodrigo, but I like Rodrigo. That's just. I think given the right mental space, he can be extraordinary, right? But Alaba, Rudiger, Mendy, right? And then right. Well, it's hard to think of anybody else. I mean, or that would definitely we'll have to invest some money in replacing.
This pains me to say this, but if we can't get a full season out of Militao, then
Militao, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
being injury prone is just.
yeah.
It's one thing if we have the bench that we had in, like, say,
Yeah.
2016,
Yeah.
10 years ago, but
So if we replace one of those players, what do you guys think about Haaland coming in?
well, Holland is a striker.
Yeah.
I don't think we need anyone up front right now. I think our
Yeah.
SOS is on the defense, and I don't think Holland's leaving City for a long time. That was the club his dad played for. That was where he grew up as a little boy. People were somewhat surprised that he didn't choose to represent England, even with his name and appearance. But I think we
Yeah.
need to focus on world-class defensive talent.
Yeah, and defensive midfielders as well.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right, we're coming up on the hour. We can do 10 more minutes to close.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So given that the World Cup is coming up very
Yes.
soon, our city is one of the host cities. I was curious to see if everybody could only pick one team. Who do you think are the favorites to win this time around? Only one team.
Oh,
Ooh.
I would go
Great
for
question.
l'équipe de France.
Keep the France. Okay.
If you have, j'espère que la France peut gagner. If France can win it, then I just love Didier Deschamps. You guys know this. I love Didier Deschamps, and I would love to have him and Mbappe win a second World Cup. Yeah.
Especially his last ride.
Indeed.
Okay. So realistically, I would say maybe Spain. Hopefully, Colombia.
How much money do you want to put on that?
Anything can I also think if I'm going off of who I think the favorites are, I think it's Spain too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Spain might be the favorite.
I'll also say I think Portugal could do it.
Oh.
Yes. Can
They
you
could.
imagine, you guys, if we have a semi between Portugal and
I'm glad you remind me of this because how I feel about Portugal now is perhaps the same way I felt about them last year during the
Nations League.
Nations League. I was like, yeah, they're strong. They could do it. Not the favorites. You have other teams that have more complete squads. They have bigger depth. But you'll remember, of course, watching that game together, how intense and emotional. So maybe we'll be looking at something like that because I'm gonna send y'all the bracket that I think will happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In one side, you could have, I believe, if I did it correctly, a France-Portugal semifinal. That could be one possibility.
Wow.
I believe.
It depends on I guess the big question is, are Colombia going to top that group or are Portugal going to top that? We're not going to know until the last match day.
Exactly.
Not just the last match day, but the very last day of the group stage.
Which, by the way, it's a game that was going on the resale. The cheapest price was $2,800. So maybe it comes down to a minute.
Damn.
I believe that.
But hey,
I wish I had the 2,800. I would definitely go watch it.
I'm all up for going to the Uzbekistan game here. It seemed like it would be on the cheaper end, and it will still be fun. So I say we go.
It'd be kind of funny.
We need to do watch parties with the World Cup, guys.
That's true. Just go down there during the weekends and go to the fan zones and stuff.
Yeah, we'll go to the fan zone.
And I was gonna say I agree with Mario. I think the Spain team is a little young, so France might be the favorites. But I think England they have a good squad. Mentality issues though. Portugal, why not Portugal?
Yeah.
dark
Why
horse
not?
ideas too. You know, Morocco, you got to give them their flowers at this point, despite AFCON and all that. And
Yeah.
Colombia are amazing. Uruguay have some good talent. But
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be Germany.
Yeah. Okay.
Auf geht's,
Deutschland.
Deutschland.
The
Die
Mannschaft.
Nationalmannschaft. Genau.
Forgive my accent. My German.
It was good. It was good. I'll give you a 9
I
out of
said
10.
it right. I said it right. Yeah.
I'll give you a 9 out of 10. Yeah, it was good.
I put your name, so.
Yeah. Ivan, predictions. We want both your favorite team and your predicted team to win the World Cup.
Favorite, I'll probably go with France. Predict who will win. Right now, I say it's between Spain and Argentina. So when I look at every other national
Again,
team,
no, Argentina. No.
nah, it's just like I don't want them to win, but it's just like based on how they're managed. Because every other managed team is just it's just horrible.
Yeah.
England got Tuchel, but sometimes he just puts player out there like he doesn't know what he's doing.
A foreign coach has never won the World Cup for like a different team as well. So
France, you already know. So the less said about that, the better. And then Brazil just lack a midfield, but they have everything else.
Oh, Brazil. You know,
Yeah.
in the 1994 World Cup, I just love the 90s, so I'm going to keep making all these references, okay?
Oh, don't talk about the 1994 World Cup, please don't.
Well,
Colombia was going to be the favorite. Colombia
Yeah.
was there with the Pibe, with Valderrama.
Yeah, Tren Valencia. You know, Colombia was
I
considering...
look back on that World Cup fondly when I
Yeah.
was -7.
That's right, exactly. That's all like saying, yeah, I remember like during World War II, you know, such and such.
Yeah.
We do, Mario.
Yeah. Back to the Madrid team of the 50s, you know, with Di Stefano. Yeah.
I remember those Di Stefano hat tricks. You know, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. Raymond Copo was my jam back then. Way back in the day. Yeah.
But what I was going to say is that World Cup, Brazil only qualified in the last game of the qualifying round. Romario scored both goals during that game. And then, of course, Brazil comes here. And you had Colombia was in the contenders to win. They had an awesome team. They had a perfect World Cup qualifier.
We flopped. Like,
Yeah.
Andres Escobar did an auto goal.
Yeah.
But to qualify, I don't know if it was a qualifier or a friendly, that 5-0 to Argentina. Every single Colombia will never forget that. That's like a big thing.
I remember watching that. I watched that soccer game live with my parents. I was 7 years old, I believe.
No, you were a little bit older. You were probably 9, because I was 12.
What do you mean you're only 7? So
93, Mario. 93.
Mario, you just said you remember the 50s and Di Stefano. What are you talking about? So I was 8 years old and I watched the game. And of course, it's one of the first games I remember just from my age. But also what I think it's funny, Caro, is there's a video of Maradona talking like, hey, we're going to beat Colombia. Argentina's always been here. Colombia's when has been down there. We're too good for them. And then, of course, they played the video with the Colombian narrators. And every time Colombia scored a goal, they start playing cumbia in the TV transmission. It's so funny. But I was going to say, Brazil comes. And, of course, Argentina loses Maradona. And so Argentina's out. But Brazil beats Netherlands. They beat Sweden. They beat the United States in all games. Not super brilliantly, like with 1 goal differential, I suppose, but they made it happen. They made it happen. And so I would enjoy that if it means that Ancelotti can win a World Cup too. And then he retires as the most successful ever. So, but
would it be surprising? Would it be surprising? I mean,
well, my brother and I watched Brazil during the Copa America, and they have a long way to go in terms of building up
They do.
right.
the team.
Speaking of Brazil, I also have a question.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to Madrid. When Casemiro left us in 2022, was it?
I think so, yeah.
When he left us, he said, I will want to come back to this club one day to show how much I love this club. We
Oh,
saw the Casemiro. Well, I don't know who saw the Casemiro performance today. Maybe
I
some of us
did.
saw the Casemiro. Incredible performance today, right? Class is permanent.
Okay.
I would take Casemiro back in this team.
Okay. All right.
Me too.
Hey,
Back
you
to
know,
you.
Oh, I love Casemiro. Every time he kicks someone, he's like,
I didn't do it. What me?
love that,
He does
miss
have
that
some
so
good
much.
You're gonna
matches for
peg you
Day.
on that.
He's just not quite as consistent as he used to be. You don't
Yeah.
get quite as many minutes out. But I was gonna say, hopefully they'll add another star to this.
Oh yeah, we went to the
I'm
match.
all set with my shirt. I had to get
Okay.
Kimmich.
Yeah. Next call, we will also bring our national team jerseys.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'll bring
Maybe one
blue.
night at the supporters club we could all wear our national team jerseys to celebrate the World Cup. Maybe
Yeah.
one of the matches in May. It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I would
Definitely.
say on Molina's point, he will provide a lot of good leadership, but on the field, you're gonna start feeling leave before the football leaves you. So
Yeah, how old is he now? He's up there.
He's up there. But like I've been saying, I would take him back for the leadership and for somebody from that three-peat era to actually bring some. I think with the leaders that we have in the locker room, like I was saying before, we have that issue where they're like, we've won this before, we know what we're doing, when they actually need to take guidance from the coach. And I think if we bring somebody like from that era, like a Modric, but he's gone. But if we bring Casemiro back, maybe the attitude could be better.
Or you could
But
even have like one of them as a trainer, right? You get
But
like
also there's
Bruce or Casemiro as a football trainer. Whip
there's
him into
certain
shape.
players that bring their energy to the team.
right.
And there may not be as strong as before. And I've always loved Casemiro, right? And of course, don't you all have the mental image of Casemiro either missing like a header or sliding a little bit too late, but you knew that he was 100% into the game.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't win all the games and he wasn't always brilliant, he was constant and he was there and he fought for the ball. He jumped. And so those players, y'all remember Clarence Seedorf?
Yeah.
And Edgar Davis from Netherlands. I mean, these guys were power players, y'all. Power players. And Casemiro is that. Casemiro is a power player. And yeah, I like the idea. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
What's the option?
¿Por qué no?
¿Por qué no? Yeah.
So now that you guys bringing that to my attention, I remember back in 2018-19, like when we had Gareth Bale, Benzema, and Cristiano Ronaldo, you knew, and then you had Marcelo on the back, and from that side, and you knew like boom and goal, and we're missing that.
Yeah.
Ronaldo has left actually. He said 2019. Yeah, he was gone.
I don't know if it was 18. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018 was the last year.
18-19 was like one of our darkest seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible. I don't even wear my shirts from that year anymore.
Did y'all okay, question. Were y'all confident when Rafa Benitez was announced or when Julen Lopetegui was announced?
Dopey Lopey.
I think when Lopetegui was announced, I was excited about it.
Okay.
I felt very sorry for him, what happened with his career as the coach of Spain, with the whole drama that they announced that they kicked him out and all that. I think he didn't deserve that, and he was doing he was doing exciting work with the national team. So I was excited when he was announced. But again, tactical coaches, for some reason, don't work at this club.
Hey, good. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I can think of Zidane, Ancelotti, and then previously Vicente del Bosque, right? So perhaps not. Okay, y'all bear with me for 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
But if we're talking about Benitez, I don't think I was excited when he was announced. Nothing was exciting during that era until Zidane came in.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially because he came in after Ancelotti's first stint where he was sacked after that 14-15 season. And I felt that they shouldn't have fired Ancelotti after that season. I think we suffered from Modric's injury, with him being out most of the season. And I feel like Ancelotti didn't deserve to lose. I think with that squad, he could have worked very well. He had a good relationship with those players.
I think it was fatigue.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think he should have done better, which was something he still kept doing, is just play the same player all the time.
Yeah, that's his one downfall. He could six.
Then Cruz was playing defensive midfield, which that's a recipe for disaster.
And
he tried, but it's just no.
On that topic, I will give credit to Benitez for bringing Casemiro back. Because Ancelotti was the one who loaned him out to Porto. And he didn't need that. I think that was a good experience for Casemiro to go out and get some consistent minutes, but we could have really used him that season.
It was just imagine. It was that, and then I think Alonso left to Bayern, so we just literally lost 2 defensive midfielders.
Yeah.
So, well.
Yeah, to close it out, I was going to say that if there's one prediction I've gotten so wrong is when Rafa Benitez was announced. And I was living with my brother, Rodrigo. You guys know Rodrigo. And our friend Seth, who's also a Madridista. And I texted him. I was like at work, excited about the press conference and all that. And I texted him, Rafa Benitez is a Madridista at heart. We are about to enter a remarkable season of winning. And I was like giving them stats, and he was awesome at Valencia. He almost won a Champions League at Valencia. He won the Champions League at Liverpool. He almost won the second one. He's coached the great Steven Gerrard, and he's coached Xabi Alonso, and he's going to be awesome and all this. And even his personality, and he's going to vibe well with the players. And I had this whole thesis, and I think it took about 7 games where I was like, oh, delete those messages.
Yeah,
I was so excited. And then I was like, and then when they appointed Zidane, I was like, I'm always going to love Zidane, so I'll support him. He'll probably stick around 2 seasons and win a Liga. I'll be happy. And then he became the greatest ever. So never take my prediction seriously. Not that you're tempted to do that, but don't.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So France are not winning the World Cup.
Right.
I'm medio brujita, so Colombia's going to win.
Yeah, hey,
We'll
I'm
see.
all up for upsets and surprises.
That would be cool. I would love a good underdog winning the World Cup.
That'd be
Right?
nice. Especially with the expanded tournament and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw Germany could meet France pretty early on in the knockouts. So that
They
could be
do.
interesting.
In fact, I don't have any money for any extra games. Or if there's one game I would love to watch, would be that matchup of France-Germany. It would be in Philadelphia, I believe.
Wow.
And I think Don and I would kill each other by the end of it. But
Yeah. You guys should both go to Philadelphia. It's actually on 4th of July. So you should go to Philadelphia, celebrate, do the fireworks, and then go to the game.
that'd be
Or
pretty
like-
sweet.
all the way around. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to drive though or something. I think those flights, the flights to hotels are gonna be crazy.
Yo, so my friend, he's a Manchester United fan, but he's from South Korea. He works with me. And he said that for the South Korea game in Monterrey,
Mm-hmm.
he checked all the Marriott hotel prices, and the average for all the nights around the game, except for the night before, the night of, and the night after the game, were like $180, $200, and then those nights are $850. And he
Yeah.
goes, I'm gonna spend the same money on my flight as on the hotel night. And I can't just spend one night. I'm not just gonna fly there, go to the game, and wake up there. No, I need to take 3 nights to make it like a vacation on it. And so he was looking at $2,200 total hotel expense. And he's like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe I could sleep in like some bando in like
Yeah.
They're hostels.
South
I mean, they're close.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Or under a bridge. That'd be fun.
In Mexico. Yeah. Hey, but speaking about upsets, like, can you imagine, just like Leicester won the premiership, right?
Oh, cool.
Can you imagine South Korea winning the World Cup, or like, Colombia, or even maybe
USA.
Yeah. Who's the story? Yeah. Oh my gosh, there we go. Yeah,
USA.
Pochettino lifted the World Cup. Can you imagine that photo?
That'd be so hilarious. But we'd be like the worst human beings ever after that. You know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we would have been the end of it.
We'd be so obnoxious.
I will say, somebody was talking about how like England has good talents, but the coach is questionable. The
Okay.
worst thing that could happen is England winning World Cup on our soil.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah, no, let's not.
That's the last thing I want. Literally, I'd rather Argentina win over
Nah.
England.
It would mean less.
It would mean
In the
less.
grand scheme of things, it would mean
Exactly.
less.
Okay, so I don't even know. I feel like this World Cup is so surreal. Like, I don't even know if it's gonna even happen. Like,
Yeah, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
right?
It probably
No-
will.
No
It probably
politics
will,
on
but
camera.
I will say, it
Yeah, no
should-
politics
You
in
guys know
camera.
where I stand, but
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about politics. It's just like, I don't know.
No, I think it will happen, but I do think that like everybody should exercise caution, because there will probably be a lot of protests going on around it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be cautious and then be graceful and understanding for sure. Like
Canada look good. I just thought
and,
about that. Their team looks good.
Yeah,
Well,
who does?
Canada.
Oh,
Their
hey,
team's pretty good.
who?
They got
who is-
Davies, Jonathan David.
Yeah.
Jesse Marsh is their coach.
The coach who we should have had.
Yeah.
I know, for real, for real. Who's the strongest team from the African Federation?
Probably Morocco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Morocco?
Morocco.
Yeah.
Egypt are past it at this point.
Yeah.
So I think it'd have to be them.
Could you see another Senegal? Like
That
That'd
would
be
be
sweet.
awesome, actually.
That would be awesome.
That
Yeah.
would be good, but I don't think they have like the midfield creativity.
yeah.
I think
I miss Ghana from like 2010 to 2014. That team is awesome.
Yeah, we had a rivalry with the U.S.
Ghanaian.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
they're
excited.
so cool.
Asamoah Gyan.
Yeah.
And they beat us in South Africa, right?
Yeah. I
And
remember I cried that day.
Oh,
Down
yeah.
on my bed crying.
I felt so bad. It was so sad.
So
'Cause I
sad.
wanted the U.S. to do so well back then.
But I don't see England making anything on this World Cup. Do they have a strong team, like for them to beat us on the soil? You imagine winning on
I mean, they do have a
They have
lot
the
of quality
players.
top.
They have
Yeah.
the players, just tactics.
Yeah.
This World Cup
Yeah,
is
the
basically
players.
the team whose coach sucks the least. That's how I see it.
Ah, well,
Well,
on
Germany
Colombia,
has a good coach.
yeah. In Colombia's case, Colombia was just better when they have an Argentinian coach. So we do
Yeah.
have an Argentinian coach. So
Who's the coach now?
I can't remember his name, but it's
But is he
Argentinian.
Argentinian?
It's Argentinian, yeah.
The same one from Copa America, right?
Yeah.
Because he played the World Cup final with Argentina as a player
Oh wow.
in 1990, which I don't remember. But he did play the 1990 World Cup. I remember 1992 and forward. You don't want to know what might be the first game ever that I remember? Remember the 1992 European Cup when Denmark beats the Mannschaft 2-0?
Oh, wow.
And Peter Schmeichel was the goalkeeper in Denmark. So they won 2-0. And so the first mental image of a soccer game I had I think it's that at my grandparents' house. That might be it.
Mine, 1990s Cup. I have a mental image of it being excited, like my little kids around the neighborhood were being excited about the Cup.
You mean Italia? Italia 90. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited for the fan zones too. I also know like a couple of our group stage matches are on Saturdays, and that the German consulate does watch parties really close to the Olympic Park. So that would be really fun.
Yeah, that's something we can do. My mother and I already talked too. We're going to host you guys June 26th.
Okay.
Saturday.
Awesome.
So y'all can come the whole day, crash if you want to. We're going to cook.
Oh, if it's June 26th, my birthday is June 24th, so we can celebrate my birthday.
We'll celebrate the birthday, yeah.
We will have a cake for you. Yeah, definitely. We'll have some board games.
I can bring a couple too.
Yeah, I'll try not to screw up the TV signal and miss a goal while we're at it. I remember I messed that up because I wanted to change it from English to Spanish.
Oh yeah, and we missed the goal.
It's only 30 seconds. We're not gonna miss anything. And then we all see the score, and I just hear Dawn's like her scream was the loudest, and I was like, I think I screwed something up.
June 25th is that Saturday. June 26th is a Sunday, just so you know.
Oh, because I remember the World Cup game, Spain, Saudi Arabia is the 27th, Sunday. But double check on me.
Because I knew the Germany-Ecuador game is on that Saturday, June 25th, so that would be fun.
Oh, okay. So we'll have that too. This World Cup, group stage, it's going to be 4 games per day.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
We have a swimming pool and we have a pickleball court.
Spain, Saudi Arabia is the week before, and that's on a Sunday on the 23rd.
Never mind. So we'll have you guys over on the 20th or on the
20th?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we have
it's gonna be a good summer.
I think what we could do too is like have everybody's house for like each Saturday. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I could do something
to Tennessee.
Yeah.
By
the way, the Spain national team is staying up in Carolina's neighborhood. They'll be in Chattanooga. So they have the hotel. And so I'm going to drive up there. I'm going to pick up Caro. You guys come join. We'll make a road trip out of it. And
that'd be fun.
Chattanooga is great. Their downtown is
amazing.
Have some nice southern food and go hiking, go to the river.
What I'll do is I'll make a schedule of games that are on the weekends.
Okay.
Like big games, and then we could just send something in the group chat. Everybody pick to host.
Yep.
Like one day. That'd be fun.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
No.
I am excited. By the way, oh wow, it's already February. So next month, the US is playing Belgium on the last Saturday of the month.
I'm going.
And of course, Portugal.
And
so I wanted to throw that by y'all, but also, are y'all planning on going to the Atlanta United opener?
I actually
probably not.
Because I think that would be fun. I know Corey she went last year with the guys, or at least they met at the stadium.
Yeah, so I think I met her there.
Oh, you went there too. Okay.
How much is the ticket?
I will hope maybe. You think we can find one for 30? I don't care if it's a nice ticket or not. I just want to be in the stadium.
We can look into it.
Opener's always fun.
Yeah.
And they always give you a freebie when you go to the opener.
And we can do a tailgate because it's still gonna be,
No, shut up.
Per my climate preferences.
No.
It's February.
By the way, y'all, we can always have another recorded call about the the polar vortex collapsing. Have you all seen that piece of news? Basically, that means we can have colder air in February. And by the way, in El Salvador, people are warning everybody because temps are going to go down to 50 degrees. And of course, in the city, that just doesn't happen. And so they are bracing themselves. So yeah, the polar vortex is collapsing. Look it up. You know, the geological scientists, they have their own. I don't understand anything about it, but that's what they said.
So for the opener, the seats in the top section are $30.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like the main point will be to hang out like at a tailgate, and we get the cheapest ticket possible. We just hang
What
out.
day is that?
Saturday, March 7th.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
It's coming up in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can come here, consolidate cars, and then get on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll make that list so we can have people claim.
Yeah, we can start
hosting.
planning. Yeah.
I do want to go to the German watch party at some point as well. But
I want to do that too. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I've been
events.
It's if you guys know where the beer garden is, down by the Olympic.
Been there before.
Yeah, they're really nice.
It's like by Centennial, like in a corner of Centennial.
Yeah. We need to start planning events.
Yeah.
And eventually trips. 2030, I'm thinking. El Salvador, we'll get a nice hostel.
I'm down.
I mean, at this stage, all these events are coming up. We gotta set some time and money apart. So
I share with I'm gonna share with you guys. There's an app that you can post events in there and people can tell you whether they can make it or not. You saw that, Melanie, right? That I sent that to you?
Yeah.
I saw that one called Partyful.
Oh,
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's that one.
That could be a good idea to put it there and see who can make it or not. So we can put it on in that calendar. I will send it to this chat, or we can send it to the Madridistas, not the Madridistas, but
the hanging out chat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna go get ready for the day tomorrow.
Me too.
Monday.
All right, y'all. This was great.
Awesome.
Work from home tomorrow.
Yeah, work from home. That's right. I have to go check whether I have to go in or not.
Yeah.
But everybody have an awesome week.
You too.
Great, like always.
Well. Yes.
And we have our next game on Sunday, Valencia. So
like at 3:00. This is an afternoon game.
3:00. And so let's hope that this week we can get into a different space and then as we all right. Excellent. Any news about the World Cup and everything? Let's keep talking about it and then
I'll make that schedule.
I'm gonna share that on the Madridistas, on the Hanging Out with Madridistas. So that would be a good idea for puts the events and who can make it or not. They can just put in there they make it or not.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Awesome. Great to see you guys. Like always.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.